They say reality TV only shows you half the truth, but what if the real story is far darker than what made it on screen? Melody Shari and Destiny Payton once had the kind of friendship fans called unbreakable. Laughter, loyalty, even tears, they shared it all. But behind the smiles, small cracks were already forming. Missed calls, quiet frustrations, and secret conversations no one saw on camera. And when Melody finally called Destiny a snake, the internet exploded. But here's the twist: what really led to that moment goes way beyond gossip. And once you hear the receipts, you'll never see their friendship the same again. In Huntsville, what started as laughter-filled moments and unwavering support between two women slowly unraveled into one of the most talked-about feuds reality TV has seen. Melody Shari and Destiny Payton once shared a friendship that looked unshakable, standing by each other through struggles and celebrating wins together. But somewhere along the way, cracks formed. And those cracks split into a fallout so dramatic that fans still argue over who bears the blame. This video takes you beyond the surface, peeling back the layers of Melody's bold snake accusation, from the earliest warning signs of tension to the off-camera drama no one saw, and the shocking revelations that set social media ablaze. You'll hear it all. Secret conversations, questionable alliances, and quiet betrayals were brewing long before the cameras caught a glimpse. And when we reach the moment where Melody points to the real mastermind behind it all, you'll realize this story runs much deeper than gossip. So grab your cup, because this isn't just about another TV spat, it's a story of trust broken, power plays in motion, and reputations hanging by a thread. And it all began with one woman deciding she had stayed silent long enough. When Destiny first stepped into Huntsville's world, she was entering a circle already packed with history, personalities, and unspoken hierarchies. Yet, instead of treating her like a newcomer, Melody welcomed her with genuine warmth. Their friendship sparked during a season when both women were fighting their own battles. Melody was enduring the very public collapse of her marriage to Martell Holt, a storm unfolding, not just in private but in front of millions of viewers. Destiny, meanwhile, was facing struggles of her own. From a rocky marriage to the painful reality of divorce, in those vulnerable beginnings, their connection quickly became a lifeline. They leaned on each other, shared secrets, offered advice, and stood united whenever conflicts with other cast members threatened to pull them apart. Viewers saw the bond play out in unforgettable ways: shared laughter on girls' trips, heartfelt heart-to-hearts over lunch, and even moments when they tag-teamed in defense of one another. For Melody, Destiny wasn't just a castmate, she was someone who understood the unique pressures of balancing motherhood, business, and life in the spotlight as a Black woman. And for Destiny, Melody's belief in her ambition and willingness to open doors in Huntsville's competitive social landscape made her more than just a friend, she was an ally. Fans noticed too. Social media buzzed with praise. "This is what real friendship looks like, and Melody and Destiny are my favorite duo." Too many, they represented loyalty and authenticity in a world where alliances often shift with the wind. But as reality TV has shown time and again, the relationships that shine brightest on camera can hide the faintest cracks. And even in those early days of closeness, subtle signs of tension were already beginning to form. The cracks in Melody and Destiny's friendship didn't begin with fireworks or betrayal. They started as hairline fractures no one noticed, missed calls here, a casual comment there, or moments where one friend felt a little less valued than before. Small things, the kind you shrug off at first until they build up. And suddenly the weight of all those tiny slights becomes impossible to ignore. On the surface, nothing seemed wrong. The two still showed up at events together, celebrated milestones, and even shared supportive posts online. To fans scrolling Instagram or watching episodes, they looked inseparable. But beneath the highlight reel, their bond was slowly unraveling. The earliest red flags were so faint that most viewers never caught them. Destiny, for instance, would casually mention during interviews or in passing on the show that she wasn't hearing from Melody as much, or that their schedules just weren't syncing the way they once did. To an outsider, it might sound like nothing more than life pulling two busy women in different directions. But in reality, it signaled something deeper: the breakdown of communication, the very heartbeat of any friendship. And then came the question of loyalty. In the world of reality TV, alliances are everything. They shape reputations and decide who stands strong and who stands alone. So when Melody expected Destiny to have her back during tense showdowns, but Destiny hesitated or even seemed neutral, it sent shockwaves through their bond. For Melody, those moments felt less like misunderstandings and more like quiet betrayals. To outsiders, Destiny's behavior might not have looked like betrayal, but to Melody, it was a subtle break in the unspoken rules of their friendship. Destiny sometimes came across as too neutral during conflicts, or even a bit too cordial with people Melody viewed as opponents. It wasn't a dramatic backstab, but it was enough to spark doubt. The tension grew more visible during group scenes. Destiny began dropping small hints of frustration, with Melody couched as minor misunderstandings, but layered with meaning, a clipped tone, a side comment. Even side viewers noticed the subtext. Meanwhile, Melody started pulling back in her own way. Invitations that once included Destiny stopped coming, and pieces of her personal life that Destiny once had access to were suddenly off-limits. It's worth remembering both women are independent, and not the type to easily admit fault. So, instead of sitting down to talk through the tension, they quietly ignored it. On screen, the friendship still looked intact. Off-screen, the cracks deepened. And as any expert will tell you, issues left unspoken don't just vanish, they either heal or they fester. The real shift came when cast events stopped feeling like celebrations and started to resemble a chessboard. Every move seemed calculated. Destiny began forging connections with people Melody wasn't on good terms with, while Melody responded by keeping her distance. This wasn't the dramatic explosion fans might expect. It was something more dangerous, as slow unraveling, one quiet choice at a time. The erosion of trust between Melody and Destiny wasn't a sudden collapse, it was a slow decay, chipping away long before either of them admitted the friendship was in jeopardy. But eventually, quiet tension gave way to confrontation, and the unease that had been building beneath the surface finally erupted in front of the cameras. What started as subtle shade and polite distance exploded into the kind of conflict reality TV is built on: the uncomfortable can't-look-away drama that keeps fans debating for weeks, for months. Their cracks had widened in silence, masked by surface-level support and polite exchanges. But all of that unraveled during one of the season's most anticipated group gatherings. The event was supposed to be a celebration, new opportunities, fresh energy, and good vibes. Cast members mingled, laughed, and exchanged small talk. On the surface, it looked like a reset, but the atmosphere shifted the instant another castmate casually brought up rumors that Melody and Destiny's once tight friendship wasn't what it used to be. Instead of dismissing it, Melody leaned in. Her tone was calm, almost measured, but her words sliced straight to the heart of the issue. She accused Destiny of entertaining the enemy, aligning with people Melody believed had actively tried to tear her down. The accusation left Destiny stunned, her reaction caught on camera for everyone to dissect later. In that moment, the tension that had been quietly eroding their bond finally burst into full view, marking the beginning of the end for one of the show's most celebrated friendships. Destiny wasn't about to stay silent. Caught off guard at first, she quickly pushed back, accusing Melody of pulling away without explanation, and even suggesting that success had changed her. What started as an uncomfortable exchange quickly turned into an emotional standoff, the kind of charged moment where everyone in the room feels the energy shift. Melody leaned in, her body language sharp and direct. She accused Destiny of breaking loyalty, pointing out moments where she had smiled and mingled with people who, in Melody's eyes, had worked hard to smear her name. Destiny didn't flinch. She fired back with her own grievances, saying Melody hadn't been there during her hardest struggles and had left her out of milestones that once would have been automatic invitations. Beneath the back and forth, it became clear this wasn't just about reality TV politics. The frustration in Destiny's voice, the clipped edge in Melody's tone, these were the sounds of real hurt. What viewers witnessed wasn't a staged spat. It was the unraveling of years of trust, laughter, and shared secrets. Every side-eye, every hesitation before speaking, every sharp word carried the weight of betrayal and disappointment. Reality TV might thrive on drama like this. But for Melody and Destiny, the confrontation felt final. Some friendships survive disagreements. Some even come back stronger. But the way they clashed that die in front of their castmates and millions watching at home made it painfully clear. This was more than a fight. It was the breaking point. What had once been a private bond was now fully out in the open, picked apart, debated, and owned by the public. The fallout from that confrontation didn't stop when the cameras cut. It spread like wildfire. Fans immediately split into camps, social media debates exploded, and suddenly both Melody and Destiny were forced to defend themselves, not just to each other, but to an audience of millions. And the real drama, it didn't come from the episode itself. It came after filming, in interviews, cryptic live streams, and carefully worded Instagram posts. Once the show ended, the gloves came off. Their feud grew larger than the storyline, feeding off social media's never-ending appetite for shade. If the on-camera clash was the spark, social media became the gasoline. The moment the episode aired, timelines lit up. Fans rewound scenes frame by frame, dissected every eyebrow raise, and posted side-by-side screenshots like detectives building a case. Hashtags like #TeamMelody and #TeamDestiny started trending, drawing clear battle lines. Neither woman stayed quiet. Melody's Instagram stories were soon filled with cryptic affirmations about removing toxic people and warning about snakes disguised as friends. She never used Destiny's name, but the timing was impossible to ignore. One post in particular set the internet ablaze: "When God removes someone from your life, it's because they overheard conversations you didn't." For fans, that was all the confirmation they needed. To them, it was a direct jab at Destiny and her alleged closeness with Melody's rivals. Destiny wasn't about to let Melody control the narrative. Her own social media soon lit up with pointed messages about fake positivity and people who switch up once they think they've made it. In one Instagram live, she stopped just short of naming Melody, instead referring to a certain somebody who turned their back when life got hard. Her words might have been vague, but her tone made the message clear she was hurt, and perhaps even more frustrated by how quickly the public seemed to side with Melody. As if that weren't enough, bloggers and fan pages grabbed hold of the feud and magnified it. YouTube commentary channels started pumping out hour-long breakdowns, stitching together old clips, interviews, and cryptic posts to map out the friendship's collapse like it was a crime scene. Some even claimed to have insider tea, offering behind-the-scenes details that never aired on TV. Suddenly, Melody and Destiny were responding to rumors they hadn't even heard until fans brought them up. Other cast members didn't exactly stay on the sidelines either. Sometimes it was obvious throwing shade in comments or dropping sly remarks. Other times it was as simple as a like under a shady meme. At one point, a castmate even posted a laughing emoji under a post mocking Destiny, which fans immediately screenshotted and spread everywhere. Destiny saw it, responded in her own way, and just like that, secondary players were officially pulled into the fire. By now, the feud was no longer just a personal fallout between two friends. It had snowballed into a public spectacle, with every post, every comment, and every interview adding another layer to the saga. What started as a private rift had transformed into an ongoing narrative that fans, bloggers, and castmates were all helping to write. Both Melody and Destiny publicly claimed they were moving forward, focusing on positivity and letting the past go, but their online behavior painted a very different picture. For Melody, the feud became part of her brand and image of a strong, independent woman who refuses to tolerate betrayal. For Destiny, it was about protecting her character and pushing back against what she felt was a twisted narrative. Both women seemed to understand one undeniable truth about reality TV in the social media era: the real drama isn't just on screen, it's in how the story continues to play out online. What viewers got was something raw, unscripted emotion behind the polished reality TV edit. This wasn't just two women bickering for cameras. It was the collapse of years of trust, private conversations, and shared loyalty happening in real time. Every pause before a reply, every clipped response, every side-eye told a story louder than words. And while reality TV feeds off moments like this, for Melody and Destiny, the clash represented something much bigger: the point of no return. Disagreements between friends can heal. Bonds can be rebuilt. But this felt different. The way they confronted each other publicly, in front of their castmates and millions of viewers, made their fracture more than personal. It became public property. The ripple effects were immediate. Fans picked sides. Social media debates turned into battlegrounds. Both women were suddenly forced to defend their reputations, not just against each other, but against the scrutiny of the internet. And the most explosive part, it didn't come from the episode itself. It came after filming, through interviews, cryptic live streams, and pointed Instagram posts where both women finally dropped the masks and hinted at what they truly thought of each other. If the on-camera fallout was the spark, then social media became the gasoline that turned Melody and Destiny's friendship breakup into a blazing wildfire. Any seasoned reality TV fan knows the real drama doesn't always happen during the episode. It explodes afterward, when cast members take to Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook to clarify their side of the story. never naming names, but dropping just enough shade that everyone knows exactly who they're talking about. Once Melody and Destiny's confrontation aired, the internet lit up like Times Square. Fans dissected every word, rewound scenes in slow motion to analyze facial expressions, and even compared screenshots side by side, like detectives piecing together evidence. Hashtags like #TeamMelody and #TeamDestiny started trending, with battle lines clearly drawn. Neither woman stayed quiet. Melody began posting a stream of affirmations on Instagram about cutting off toxic people and exposing snakes disguised as friends. She never mentioned Destiny outright, but the timing was impossible to ignore. One post in particular sent the internet into overdrive. When God removes someone from your life, it's because they overheard conversations you didn't. Fans immediately connected it to Destiny's rumored conversations with Melody's rivals, convinced it was a direct shot. But Destiny wasn't staying silent either. Her own feed filled with pointed messages about fake positivity and people who switch up once they think they've made it. In one Instagram live, she didn't drop Melody's name, but her words painted a clear picture: a certain somebody had abandoned her when she needed support most. Her calm delivery couldn't hide the frustration in her voice, or the sting of watching fans rush to Melody's side. Destiny's message, about a certain somebody turning their back when times got tough, may not have named Melody outright, but the meaning was clear. And while she tried to keep her composure, her tone revealed the truth: she was hurt, and even more frustrated by how quickly fans seemed to rally behind Melody. Then came the amplification. Bloggers, fan pages, and YouTube commentary channels latched onto the feud like fuel to fire. Hour-long breakdowns began circulating, connecting old clips, resurfacing past interviews, and dissecting cryptic posts to map out the timeline of their crumbling friendship. Some even claimed to have insider knowledge, spilling alleged behind-the-scenes conversations that never aired. Suddenly, Melody and Destiny were forced to respond to rumors they hadn't even heard before fans brought them up. The chaos didn't stop there. Other cast members occasionally stirred the pot, sometimes directly, other times with sly likes and shady comments. One even dropped a laughing emoji under a meme mocking Destiny, a move fans instantly screenshotted and spread across social media. Destiny saw it, fired back in her own way, and just like that, secondary players were officially pulled into the feud. By this stage, it was clear this wasn't just a private friendship gone wrong. It had become a full-blown public spectacle with its own momentum. Every post, every comment, every interview only pushed the narrative further, keeping the drama alive long after the cameras stopped rolling. While both women publicly claimed they were moving on and focusing on positivity, their online behavior told a very different story. For Melody, the feud became a chance to double down on her image as a strong, independent woman, unwilling to tolerate betrayal. For Destiny, it became a battle to defend her character against what she believed was a twisted, unfair public perception. And here's the thing: both of them seemed to recognize one undeniable truth about reality TV in the age of social media: the real drama doesn't end when the cameras stop rolling. In fact, that's usually when it really begins.